Alright, so I'm going to attempt to show how to replace the keyboard keys on this MacBook Air model A1466. So this is very similar with the other models as well, not just the A1466 but also the A1398, A1502. But the keys underneath can be different, so you want to make sure you get the right replacement parts. So let me see if I can show you what I mean. Let me grab my whole box. So I have a whole box of keyboards actually. There we go. So there's all these broken keyboards and each keyboard is different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a bunch of these MacBook Air style keyboards. So here you can see this looks similar. Okay, this one's very different. And basically just get, we're gonna need this one is different. Okay, let me see if I can find, hopefully I have the right parts for them. This one similar, but that spacebar is broken. Okay, this one might be right. Yeah, so there's so many different styles of keyboard, and if you have the wrong one, then the keys aren't going to fit. So even some of the keyboards, they'll look the same, but the underneath keys will be different. So it's very important to get the right ones. So let's see here. This one might be. So I got out several different ones, so hopefully we have enough that we have the right keys. Okay. So we got several of these. Okay. So I'm going to set the box aside. Alright, so here's what underneath these keys look like. So here's a spacebar key, just to kind of see what it looks like. And they can all be different underneath, so you want to be careful with this. The way I have to remove these is I use a little needle like this, okay? And I actually put a bend in it, and it makes it a little bit easier. So what you want to do, the spacebar is a little bit trickier, but you want to, I don't know if I'll be able to show this in camera because it's gonna, you have to get like a very specific view. So let's see, maybe if I turn it sideways. Oh, their W key just fell off. So that might help a little bit since their W key fell off. Actually, their M key fell off. Okay, so if you look underneath, so this is the M key. So if you look underneath, there's two types of clips here. There's these ones that are kind of like a claw that it'll grab this rounded part. See, if I put the needle there, it grabs it. Oops, sorry. If I put the needle there, it grabs it. And then there's this other one where it's more like, I don't know how you would call this. It's like a corner piece or something. So this claw piece is the one that you want to pry up, and that's what we got to remove. I think all these hinge pieces are okay. So most likely we don't have to get those out, but I'm going to remove one of these here. Hopefully you can see. So what you do is you pull this up, and you can actually see in between the hinge where it kind of scissors where they connect to make like an X shape. Let me zoom in some more. Maybe it'll be easier to see. So you can see where it makes an X shape. What you do, it's hard to film this, but you get the needle in between that X shape. Okay, and once you get it between the X shape, you slide the needle downwards, okay, while you're kind of pulling this up and pushing the needle down. And there you go, it clips. And then once you get that one clip out of that claw bracket, okay, then you slide the needle over to the other side and you unclip that second one. Once you get those two clips out, then you should be able to just kind of wiggle the key and you can see it pops out. All right. So you want to confirm that both of these keys are similar underneath. And as you can see, these ones, oops, these do not match up. So if I was to try and put this key in, it's not going to work. See, you see this, the corner bracket here is way lower. So I can't use that keyboard. So I'm going to put that one aside. We're going to get another one. Okay, so let's grab this keyboard and we're going to do the same thing. Okay, go on the M, you pull up the key, get the needle in between. So the good thing with this bend is I angle it so that way it's pointed up like this. So when I push the key or the needle in, this pointed part will actually slide up and over the frame of that X where it connects. Okay, so just like this, and then, oops, and then while you get that under there, slide the needle down. There you go, it unclips. Go over to the other side, keep sliding, and there we go. All right, and then you can see the key just comes out. Then we check this. This key is also wrong, so we're gonna throw that aside. I hope I have the right key for this, because if I don't, then I'm not gonna be able to replace the keyboard. So let's go ahead and try this one. It doesn't have the space bar, which is one of the more important keys that I need to replace, but let's try this as well. One way you can kind of do it is if you can see these hinges, you can actually look and see if they match, and actually these hinges don't match, so I should already know by default that those aren't going to be right. Like here you can see it's wrong. Okay, so I'm going to see if the other ones have keys already popped off, then I can already tell if they're right or wrong. Here I can see this hinge mechanism also looks different, so that's wrong. Alright, this one, there is no hinge mechanism so revealed, so I'm going to pop one up just to see. Okay, and this hinge mechanism I think looks right. Okay, so let's compare the keys, and it looks, oops, sorry, and it looks about right. So we should be able to put this key in, and the way you put these in, you put the top in first like this, and then you push down, and there we go, we got that key sitting properly. Okay, so let's see what else, what other keys. The N is a little bit bowed up, so I'm gonna have to replace that as well. Okay, same thing, pull it up slightly, get underneath there, and then pop this out just like that, and there we go, we got the key out. It's a little bit trickier when it's on the keyboard, but same thing, I use the needle, get underneath so I can lift it up, hold it up with my fingernail, you can use a pry tool or whatever, and then get the needle in between the X, now that we know where it is, and then slide the needle over, there we go, pop those clips, and we got the key out. Alright, then we just take it, make sure you put it the same way that the clamps go face downwards, so flip it over that way. Okay, put the top in first, push that down, and there we go. Okay, alright, so again, the space bar is probably the trickier key because it has like all these clips all along the top. So let's see what else. We got to replace these two. That's okay. This is kind of okay, but I'll probably leave that because they probably won't care too much to replace this key because it's not used that often. So let's go ahead and remove these. Okay, again, lift up the key, get underneath. Okay, pull that out, and there we go. And I think all the latches or the hinges are usually okay, but if you need to replace the hinge, you can too. Let me show you how you would do that. So these hinges, at least for this model, it's pretty similar between models, but what you do is you lift it up, and then you want to get between the two hinges, okay, with the needle. I don't know if you'll be able to see, it's kind of, okay, I don't know if it'll be clear enough. Anyways, you lift that up, get the needle between the two hinges, and then you can see you can pry this. There's a little peg that sticks out here that it connects the two layers together. So you want to pry this piece, okay, and then you get that little post out. It's too blurry to see, I think. I'll show it close up in the camera. But you get that one post out, go on the other side, same thing, pry this, sorry. And then once you get both posts out, you can see the hinge mechanism comes out, okay? Just like that. And then you want to make sure you put it back the same way. So let me see here. Okay, so you can see you got these longer holes here where the hooks actually go over this piece. And then you got this piece where the keyboard, excuse me, where the key actually clamps over this. So what you do, you take the two pieces, just put it back in. So get the one side, put that in. And then usually there's a little groove here that you can actually just push the key back down, or the other part of the hinge back down on top. If it doesn't, then you'll have to kind of like try and stretch it out and get it back in. But here you can see I just push the two back together and it sticks. And then what you do is you hook on one side first. So I hook the bottom in first. After you hook the bottom, then you can kind of push the top down, right? And it has to go over these little hooks that are up here, okay? Just like that. And then you can test the hinge, make sure it's working. Okay, so we're gonna put this key back in. Same thing, top first, clip the claws back down, all right? I'm gonna continue with the other key. Same thing, get underneath, clip those out, all right? Same thing with this one, get underneath between the X, all right? There we go, and do that. Okay, then again, top in first, clip this down. So every keyboard depends, is different. So again, you want the claws to be pushed down last after you get the corner piece in. So same way when you remove it, you remove the clips, those claw pieces first. So you go from the bottom. So you want to check, depending on your key, the claws can be flipped over. So on some models will even have the claws being sideways. So it really depends. Like other keys, like the arrow keys and things like that, they can be different. So you kind of have to look underneath and figure out which way. So let me see if I can show an example with the F12. So the F12 actually is similar. So I can actually see this one, okay, on the F12, like these keys, they actually follow the same rule. They're the regular, you just go in the middle and then you pull from the side down, okay? But they are more difficult because they're smaller. So there you go. Same thing, okay? It has the little claws at the bottom. So same thing, you would put the top in first. Okay, put the top and then clip it down. All right, and I don't know if any of these other keys differ. You'd have to check. These arrow keys look the same. Sometimes the up and down arrow keys are flipped. Yeah, I think on the up arrow key, it's flipped, but the bottom arrow key is the same. Yeah, so the up arrow key, you actually have to go, oops, sorry. The up arrow key, you actually have to go upwards, I think. Let's see. Yep, so up arrow key, yeah, the claws are at the top. So if you are doing the up arrow key, and then the bottom arrow key, they just flipped it and made it the same as all the other keys. So the up arrow key, I think, is the only strange flipped over one. All right, anyways, command key. Okay, so the command key has some extra bits to it. Let me double check here, it's hard to see. So the command key actually has a little metal bar at the very top here. And to get that out, it's basically, you start at the middle and then you work your way around the top to release that. And then to release the bottom piece, you go under, and then same thing like the other ones, I think. Let's see here, can I get this out? Oh, that's stuck. Let me actually do it on this one. So if I show, I don't know if you can see in here, but if I open this, yeah, you can see that metal clip. So what I'm gonna do is get the needle under that metal clip there and pull that metal clip out. It's hard to record this, but pull that metal clip up and down. Oops, it's not supposed to come completely out like this, but it did. So there we go. All right, and then let me check inside the key. I need better lighting, so I have to do this off camera. Okay, and yeah, the clamp is at the bottom, so what you do, get the needle in through the center while lifting it up. Okay, and then pry out the lower clips there. Just like that, and the key comes out. Okay, so this one's gonna be a little weird because it's so bent up. So let's see how I can do this. Okay, come on. There we go. There we go. Okay, so this one got bent so bad it made it a little extra difficult. So this is the metal piece that I was talking about. So to get this in, you actually just slide, so this metal, let me take that out. Alright, so this metal piece, you actually want to just slide it in here and then just lay it down to where you want it to go. So you can actually see there's extra little claws up here to hold that metal bar in place. Okay, actually, wait. Oh, sorry, I had the key flipped upside down. So the extra claws are up here to hold that in place. Then you got these corner brackets and then the regular claws. So you put this in first. Make sure you snap those top pieces into that metal bar, and then you can go ahead and snap that in, and there we go. Alright, so let's see, all these feel okay. So we've got the J key and the K key. Let's get the K out first. Alright, just like that. Same thing, lift it up, get the thing underneath, pry those out. Okay, and once you get the hang of it, you can go a bit faster, so just like that. J key. But if you want, but it's always good to kind of take it a little bit slow. You don't want to rush and then end up breaking the thing. Uh-oh, this one, oops. I took the wrong key out. Okay, let's move the J key back over. Okay. Alright, and then I was wondering, I was like, oh no, I didn't have one of the keys. Alright, so the K key here. Same thing. Alright. Okay, I need to test the keys to make sure I'm putting them in the right spot. This, okay. Looks okay. The I key's a little crooked, but it's not really a big deal, so they probably won't care. I don't know if they'll want to pay extra for these keys that aren't that bad, so the O key is like curving down here. I'll have to ask them. Alright, then we got the space bar, which is the most difficult. There's two metal bars that go across the top and the bottom. So what you want to do, you want to lift it up, get underneath the top part, okay, the metal bracket, and you want to hold that up while you pull that metal bracket down, okay. Alright, and then same thing with the bottom, there's a metal bracket there as well. Start from the middle, slide your way over, and we're going to pull that metal bracket down. Oops. Okay, and then this one has two plastic clips underneath, so the right side came out because it's so badly bent. The left side, we're going to again go through the middle, got to insert the needle slightly far into there, and then same thing, go to the bottom, pop those claws out, okay, and there we go. So here you can see the two claws, and then you got these metal bracket things, okay. So I don't know if any of these are the same. Nope, these are all different, so I do have to get this new one out. Alright, same thing, get the tool in. We're gonna go ahead and get the metal bracket out first. I don't know if you can actually see. So actually when you look under, you can see that you're pulling the metal bracket down. Just like that, okay. And the other side, same thing. Lift it up, get underneath that metal bracket. Okay, and we're gonna just pop that metal bracket out. So this is to help the spacebar key feel more rigid. If you don't put this, then the key will just kind of bend only in the center. And then when you press on the sides, it won't work too well. All right, so get that metal bar out. Okay, Now that we've got the metal bars out, we're gonna go ahead and get the plastic clips out there. Okay. Okay, go to the other side. Okay, there we go. Got that out. All right, and then to replace this key, if you want, you can clean them up. These are kind of a little bit dirty. All right, so to replace this one, you want to clip actually everything at the same time. You can clip the metal bar at first if you want up here, and then same thing, work your way down to here. And then, oops, and then just make sure, test it, it looks good. Okay, if it doesn't work right, you're gonna have to pop it back up and check that again. So everything looks okay except the O and the I are a little bit off, but that's pretty much all there is. Hopefully this video helped you guys. Same idea applies to the enter, the return, the shift key, and the delete, and the caps lock, and these larger keys. They have like these metal bars underneath, so keep that in mind. You do want to check for those metal bars. If these metal bars come out, you basically just put one side in first, all right, put it all the way, and then put the other side in, and then just line it up, all right, just like this. Okay, and just like that. All right, and again, this one, we lost the one up here, so I'm going to put that back down there as well. But this is the old keyboard, so it doesn't matter because this isn't going to be used for anything else. Okay, so that's pretty much all there is to this. Hopefully this you got the idea, and you'll be able to do any other key on any computer. The different style keyboards, the newer MacBooks, they have these butterfly keys that are a lot more difficult. They're different, so you want to watch the video. I made a video on how to remove the letters, but I didn't do the spacebar because that one's very risky. It's really big. So the 2017, I think 2016, 17, 18 all have that butterfly keys where it doesn't really press down that far. Those actually, Apple has a known issue, and they are repairing those for free. So if you do have issues with that keyboard, you can actually bring it to Apple and they'll fix that, hopefully. All right, hopefully this helped again. Thanks for watching. Share with other people, help others find this video so that they can also fix their keyboards. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.